The end? Maybe not. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, I want to show you something very interesting in personal branding that I have noticed about these two particular accounts. So it's the Future and Chris Do. Now, if you're familiar with his content, you would know that Chris Do is the guy behind the Future. And it's a very, very great channel to learn about branding and personal branding, and it talks about that a lot. But I found out something weird and different that I thought it would be a great lesson to share that. And if you are building your personal brand right now, this would be a very, very great lesson for you to learn. So you have the Future with 2.6 million subscribers and 2,000 videos, and then we have the personal account of Chris Do with just about 46,000 subscribers and 10 videos. And by the way, most of those videos are live videos on YouTube. So why the 50x difference? Because there's actually a gap of 50x. What is the reason for this? And don't think of it in the sense that, oh, I probably know what it's going to be. Open your mind a little bit and let's try to explore and see why that is the case. Now, if you look across the social media platforms, across the internet, you would find this thing where the personal brand is greater than the business brand. That means the personal brand, the person behind the business, has more following than the business itself. So we can see this for Tim Cook, for example, who's not even the founder of Apple, who's just the CEO. His following is much higher than Apple. Elon Musk, his following is much higher than Tesla. And we can do this for lots of other businesses, lots of other founders, and lots of other famous people. However, when it comes to Chris Do, his following is less than the following of the Future. So the question is, why is this happening? Why is this anomaly? And can we learn something from there? Now, to be fair, if you go on Instagram, you'll find out that Chris Do actually has more followers than the Future, but the gap isn't that much. It's about 400k gap, and it isn't that much. I would say even the Future is closing in really, really strongly. And if you go on Twitter, which is now called X, you would find almost the same story here also. Chris Do has more following than the Future on Twitter also. So you ask yourself then, why is YouTube different? Why is YouTube different? And before we get into all the details, on YouTube, both accounts were founded around the same time. So the Future account was founded in February 2012, and Chris Do's account was founded in March 2012. So it's the factor of the longevity, the factor of how long the account has been in existence does not come in here, because it's a 1 month difference, and that is not significant. So why the YouTube difference? Why is there a difference in the YouTube? There are two minor reasons and one major reason. I know one reason might be coming to your mind, but listen to this and listen very carefully. So the Future has 2,000 plus videos, and that's the obvious reason, and Chris Do has only 10, and this is the first minor reason. The reason is because there is so much more in the Future and there is so little with Chris Do. And on Chris Do's page, he wrote it there on his description that this is a personal YouTube channel, and I don't think it does anything there. And on the Future, you have all the content, you have everything that he has to offer, you have everything that it teaches, which is really great information. But the lesson here is that it is what you build that grows. And this is very, very important. It is what you build that grows. If you're not adding videos, if you're not actively building your personal brand, don't just expect that, oh, because it's your personal brand, it's gonna blow up over your business brand. That's not true. It's what you build that grows. It's the plants that you water that actually grows. So it's not automatic that your personal brand is gonna be bigger than your business brand. The question is, are you working on it? Are you working actively on it? Now, if Chris is actually working actively on both, maybe there would be a difference. But that's not the main reason. It's just one of the minor reasons. Let's keep going on. The second minor reason is that YouTube is not social media. And this is a very, very, very powerful tip to understand. Now, social media, which is the likes of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which is now called X, TikTok, and all the likes, what they encourage is people following people, or people following the people that they care about, and engaging with people. Mostly, it's called social media. YouTube, on the other hand, is not like that. People come to YouTube mainly for entertainment, for learning, for education of some sort. People come to YouTube to research information and to seek something out. And so YouTube is more directed, more service. It's about the service you render, and not so much about the person that is behind it, or the person that owns the account. Now, there are people who have grown great personal brands on YouTube, no doubt, but if their content drops, their channel also is gonna drop. It's the same thing. It's the service that they render. That's what's at the heart of YouTube. Unlike other social media platforms where it's just you follow them because of you like their face and things like that. So if you extrapolate this also to celebrities, you would find that celebrities will have a huge following on social media, and their following on YouTube is significantly less than what you'll find on social media. Because on YouTube, people don't follow you because of who you are. People subscribe for the videos more than for the person. So YouTube is not social media. People subscribe for the value they can get, whatever kind of value it is, whether it's entertainment, whether it's educational, whether it's informative, whatever it is. People subscribe for the content, more than for the person. It has very little to say about the person. Now, the major reason is community branding. In my opinion, the major reason why the Future's brand is bigger than Chris Do's brand is community branding. And what does that mean? It means building a brand for a community, which Chris Do is one of the very few people that I've seen who has mastered this. And it is building a brand based on a community, based on we, and not on just a person, me. And I think that is underrated in today's world, and most people do not know how to do it, especially people who are experts at personal branding, who have big personal brand. It's always a challenge for them to build a community brand, because the things you need for both are different. For example, if you're building a community brand, you have to be comfortable with the fact that you might not be the biggest name, or you might not be the most popular person in that community. Now, the problem with a lot of people who are building community brands is that they want to always be the forefront. They want to be the brightest person. They want to be the biggest star in that community. And if you're building a community and you have that idea that, I want to be the biggest star in this community, then you're not really building a community, because a community should, let other people flourish, to let other people glow. And if someone has a brighter idea, or if someone has a bigger thing that they want to share, or they have a bigger impact, then so be it. If you have a problem with that, then it's going to be very, very difficult for you to build a community branding. And that has a lot to do with the internal work of a person and the ego. And Chris, in all honesty, at least as far as I know him from these videos that I have seen and watched, he has very little ego, and he allows people to flourish the way they want, and he has no problems with it. And that's why he's been able to build a very, very, very strong community brand, which is the Future. So the Future is actually one of the very rare cases of community branding done right. And because it's done right, a lot of people gravitate towards it. That's why even on social media, it's the following of the Future is very, very, very close to that of Chris. The gap is not that wild, unlike some other businesses, unlike some other platforms. And it's because he has prioritized community branding for the Future. You will notice that the Future has a very specific mission, and the mission is bigger than Chris. Now, anybody who comes into that mission, who comes into the Future, gets attached more to the mission than even to the person. Now, the person is important, the leader is important, but he's not leading like, I'm the brightest light here and all of you must follow me. And that's not the way he's doing it. He's doing it in a slightly different way, which is the way I think community branding should be done. So community branding done right is why I think the Future has a bigger brand than Chris Do. Is the major reason. It's not the only reason, but it's the major reason. So we come to the end right again. Thank you for watching.